Welcome to the Intuitive Therapist Podcast with Janis Cohen, therapist, clairvoyant, empath, and medium. Listen in as she takes a no-nonsense deep dive into real human struggles and how to resolve them. Janis will share channeled information from her spirit guide team, as well as the angels and archangels, to help you master your emotional, physical, financial, and spiritual destiny. And now, Janis Cohen.
Hey y'all, this is Janis Cohen, the Intuitive Therapist here on the Intuitive Therapist Podcast. My cat is with me once again, and so if you hear her, she's giving cat wisdom. And any of you who have cats, you know that they love to sit right on your papers and sit on your keyboard and mess things up and prevent you from doing your work. So she's very good at that anyway. So we will see what she has to meow and say. But anyway, today I want to talk about something that I think for most people, they don't realize the value of it. And for others, they do for sure. And overall, it tends to be a challenge for people. So my hope today is to help you with this. And the topic is about stillness and why stillness is really the key to kind of everything. So in a world filled with distractions, it's pretty hard to get quiet in your mind, isn't it? I mean, I know that I struggle with that a lot. My head is in a lot of different places. I tend to be juggling a lot of different projects and have a lot on my brain. And there are times where I really feel like I just want answers and I just want to feel calm. And I'm so pumped up that it's very hard to get still. So it for me, you know, my mind goes about 1,000,000 miles a minute and I juggle a lot. And that's kind of pretty much my normal. I would imagine most of y'all experience that too. And it's taken me a while to understand why practicing stillness is important because I resisted it a lot. And I didn't understand why it felt so difficult, but now I do. And it's taken me a while to truly cultivate the practice because, in all honesty, it's just felt uncomfortable to calm the fuck down when I'm anxious or overdriven to complete certain things. I just feel like I have this urgency, this need, I got to get all this done. And then typically I find that I struggle with getting these things done because I'm all over the place and I'm not grounded or calm. But what you don't know is that there is doing in being. Most of us feel like if we keep doing, then we're quote unquote doing the right thing, right? And the balance spiritually is in the doing and the being. And a second reason why stillness is difficult for most people to cultivate is because we tend to be resistant to calming our energies down when we feel all hyped up, right? When we feel anxiety or stress or in fear. And yet it's the very thing that's going to help you get out of those feelings and get your mind right. And isn't it odd that we actively avoid doing the things that help us the most? I mean, when I was thinking about this today, I was like, yeah, this is like the key to the kingdom. But everybody seems to, well, I can't say everybody, that's too general. Many of the people that I know, many of y'all, we just avoid it because we feel like it's getting in the way of what we need to accomplish. And over the years, I've become well aware that when I become anxious or overwhelmed or over busy and my head is just going 1,000,000 miles a minute, and when I'm in gotta get it all done now mode, and when I spiral out of control with my thoughts, which I do, just like you, that it's when it's the hardest to get still. My body wants to be doing. What I need to be doing is being. So now, because I've recognized that, and hopefully this makes sense to y'all, now when I feel all over the place or anxious or undirected or just like my engine is all ramped up, I'm reminded by my spirit guide team to take time to ground myself and breathe. My signal, my cue, is when I can't get my head organized. So when I feel that, when I recognize that, I stop and I ground myself and I breathe. And boy, what a miracle worker that is. And period, I know it helps. So I start to become aware of my body whenever I'm sitting, and I begin to just allow myself to notice what it feels like to be where I'm at. I begin to notice my breath, my heartbeat, what I'm thinking about. I notice the seat that I'm in and how it feels, where my arms are, how it feels in my body. And I begin to surrender my need to do, because I know that being is really the only way out of the mess I've allowed myself to create in my mind from all of these tornadic thoughts that I have. So I wonder if you can relate to this, any of the things that I've talked about. And I wonder how often you practice stillness, if you even recognize that it's important for you. What gets in the way of you doing it every day in the morning or throughout the day? What happens on the flip side when you've actually become still? What have you noticed about your body, your mind, your energy, the thought patterns you have, the things you worry about or fear? What comes up when you get still? Do you come upon a sense of calm that you need? I know I always do. You see, stillness is a precious gift that allows you to connect with your true self, the highest version of yourself, to gain clarity and cultivate certainty. Y'all, this really may sound like a bunch of hooey to you, but I don't speak about what I don't believe in. I only speak about what's true for me and what I believe in, and it is this right here. Stillness. And y'all, stillness is the bomb diggity of life. And to become better, I know bomb diggity is like a very old school, back in the day comment, but it's true. It's the shit, right? To become better at anything, sure, you got to take some sort of action. But to truly know yourself, to know the actions that you need to take, to be able to access directions, answers, ideas, next steps, to find the inspiration, the motivation, the clarity, stillness is the only way to do it. Because when you are in stillness, you are in receptive mode. And that is when we get those ahas. It's kind of like if you can think of times when you've been doing something that is really not very mind-boggling, like washing dishes or the laundry or taking out the trash or walking around somewhere in the house, and all of a sudden you're hit with this idea or this insight, or you've been asking for some clarity and boom, it's there. That is the power of stillness. And yes, you can be still doing something that is mindless, like the laundry, like I was talking about, dishes, folding clothes, anything that where your left brain is occupied, where your mind is distracted by action. And we can call that stillness, even though it's a doing. But stillness is the being. So now stillness can mean a lot of things for a lot of different people. Think about it, what it means for you in your life. You can find stillness anywhere, at a stoplight, on a train or a bus, or as a passenger in a car. You can find stillness waiting in line. Stillness is all about creating a space for reflection and solitude. And it doesn't matter how loud life is around you or how busy. Oftentimes, before I begin working, I'll meditate, I'll breathe, I'll get still. Because truly, it just feels so good. Like I said, the minute I get into my office, I'm going. And I begin to breathe deeply. I feel my body in my office chair. I get anchored into my body as I continue to breathe deeply. Notice my feet touching the floor. And I'll lay my hands palm up on my thighs, and I'll begin to breathe. Through my nose, pushing my belly out. And when I exhale, I pull my belly in, and I call in my spirit guide team to support me throughout the day. I set my intention. I call in the light from above, and I breathe it in deeply from my crown chakra all the way through my body and down through my feet into the center of the universe. And I feel my third eye begin to tingle and open up, the space right in between my brows above my nose. And I feel my crown chakra starting to do the same. It will start to tingle and open up. And once I've done that, I can either just wait for insight, guidance, and direction. I can just sit and notice breath and find calm, or I can ask for what I want or for what I need to know. And then I wait. And I breathe. I breathe deeply. And I notice what comes to me. Whether it's an idea, color, thought, person. You see, stillness is not at all an escape from life. It's so comforting. It works. So being can be far more productive and powerful than doing, because it allows for new things to come into your awareness, not just this recording that you have going over and over and over again in your mind. Because we can spend our day doing and not be or feel accomplished at all. We can just do a whole bunch of shit and literally get nothing done. But once you plug into this part of yourself, your true internal compass, through stillness, insight comes, inspiration comes, motivation comes, clarity shows up, and so do the next steps. You can create stillness in whatever way you want. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Crystals are nice. I hold one in my hand. It's called an obsidian. It's black, and it helps with grounding. I also hold a rose quartz. And those just kind of are my ways of enhancing meditation. But it's all about reconnecting to yourself and taking the time out of this busy, robotic way of being and just be in your beingness. And if you find yourself having difficulty going deep within during your stillness, or you're distracted, or you start feeling this resistance or feeling anxious, and you just want to quit in the first 10 seconds that you sit because you are really starting to feel the discomfort, what I want you to do is this. I just want you to take the pressure off yourself, to have it be something monumental. And all I want you to do is just focus on the feeling of where you are, where your body is, whether it's laying down on your bed or couch or your chair. And I just want you to focus on your breath and only your breath. Don't try to accomplish anything. Feel yourself rooted in the place where you're sitting, standing, or laying down. And you can do this simply by imagining roots around your entire hip area, rooting just like a tree deep into the earth. And when you do that, you will feel a pull, a tug. You'll feel the support that what's underneath you, that it gives you. And just simply focus on breath. Breathing in through your nose, pushing your belly out, filling up your lungs and your belly, holding it for 3, 2, 1, and breathing deeply out as you exhale, pulling your belly in. And the reason why I advise people to breathe that way is because you're focusing on the counterintuitive nature of what is going on in your belly. When you breathe in, most people pull the belly in. But to really be focused on breath, You breathe in through your nose, pushing your belly out. Exhale through your mouth, pulling your belly in. And if that's all you do for a while, for months, it's fine. Because eventually your body will start to feel safe in the stillness. And you will be able to breathe more calmly, easier, and you'll start to feel the comfort that offers. Yep, you're going to notice a ton of thoughts swimming around your brain. We all have those. And just to let you know, when people say get still and quiet your mind, few people ever get to a place where their mind isn't busy. Few people get to a place ever where they can get still for hours and have a truly quiet mind. So don't shoot for that. I can't. What I tend to do, I've gotten much better at letting my body relax into my breath so that I can get still. But I'm aware of all of the thoughts that flow through my mind. It's like I see them in front of my eyes, but I don't attach meaning and I don't attach value to them. I just notice it. I just let them pass me by. And when it's time to take action, I'll feel it. When it's time to be done, I'll feel it. And I focus on my thoughts and I see how they feel to me. And I pick which ones I want. And then I ask for divine guidance. If you can really try to do this every day you can do it for 5 minutes. You can do it for 1 minute. Just getting used to being still and just breathing. You will calm your nervous system down. And when I tell you the difference that this has made in my life, when I'm calm, when I'm connected to my body, when I have slowed my breath down, I tell you, I get more done in a day than I could ever do being on full throttle and not having that stillness or groundedness. So if you truly want to up-level your life in all areas, start cultivating a practice of stillness and breathing. Start getting comfortable with stopping and just being in your body, feeling the comfort that breath gives you, the safety it offers you. Because there's nothing that you can't accomplish with a clear mind and with a calm nervous system. It really is the key to becoming who you're meant to become. I hope today was helpful. I hope you develop and cultivate a practice of stillness. Just start with breath. Just start getting comfortable with allowing yourself the permission to relax, to go within, and to notice what shows up. I wish you a blessed day, a wonderful week, and as always, live intuitively.
Thanks for listening to The Intuitive Therapist. If you like what you heard, the best compliment you can give us is to share this podcast with a friend. And be sure to give us some stars and a favorable review at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen in.